What up? What's good? What's popping? So today we coming at y'all with another one. Another one.
You can't even say I'm a special guest no more. You already know it's Dre.
Right. So we gonna show y'all, little Kai got arrested for doing a little tantrum in school.
6 years old.
6 years old. Watch this clip and we gonna come and we talk about this.
Kaya Roll is like most little girls. She loves pink and has a cheery outlook on life.
Come sit down.
But after what her grandmother says happened on Thursday, the bubbly 6-year-old has little room to focus on school after she got a call from a school resource officer saying Kaya was arrested.
They say, what do you mean she was arrested? Say there was an incident and she kicked somebody and she's being charged and she's on her way.
Marilyn Kirkland says her granddaughter's journey to the Juvenile Detention Center by Orlando police officers began at Lucius and Emma Dixon Academy Charter School.
She's arrested and she has a charge. She's charged with battery.
The disorienting chaos, too much for Kirkland to process.
She has a medical condition that we're working on getting resolved. So he says, what medical condition? So I said, she has a sleep disorder, sleep apnea. He says, well, I have sleep apnea and I don't behave like that.
The first grader handcuffed and carted off, where the grandmother says she was fingerprinted and even had a mugshot taken.
No 6-year-old child should be able to tell somebody that they had handcuffs on them and they were riding in the back of a police car and taken to a juvenile detention center to be fingerprinted, mugshot.
Kaya equally as upset.
Don't cry.
No, I'm good.
But happy to be home.
I felt sad that my grandma was sad. And I really missed her.
So yeah, we definitely got to talk about this.
Man, look at this girl. She looked like she traumatized. 6 years old, and they really handcuffed this girl and took her to jail. After all the handcuffing and everything, what comes next? Dripping her naked and making her squat and call? Like, seriously, what's next?
That's real. And the crazy thing is that they're basically just getting her prepared for if she does go down the path of something like this. This was her first incident in actually being charged with something at 6.
Now watch this clip and we're going to talk about this after it's done. Man.
They try to bring her in so they don't get sued right here. This clip right here is crazy. And it showed you that something else is going on.
Arrested. I was advised that it was a 6-year-old little girl and a little boy as well. Since that time, there have been outcries for justice, and I want this community to know that I hear you. I also want you to know that when it comes to little elementary age children, we will not negotiate justice ever. Today, the healing can start. I can assure you that there will be no criminal prosecution for a misdemeanor battery for these elementary children in my name or on my watch. Unlike some, I will not presume guilt or dangerousness of a child based upon any demographic. I want to be clear, at no point did I or my Juvenile Bureau Chief, Michael Dean, have any intention on proceeding with the prosecution of these children. I'm extremely proud of Mr. Dean and his actions on Thursday, because in no uncertain terms, he said that the Juvenile Detention Center was not a place for a 6-year-old child. There is protocol and a criminal justice process that did not allow my office to intervene and dismiss the charges before today. Case numbers are generated by our clerk's office, and it is only at that point that I, as a state attorney, am authorized to act. A case number pertaining to the 6-year-old girl was provided to my office this morning, and the charges were dropped this morning. At this point, we have not received a case number for the other child, but when we do and a case number is assigned, it too will be immediately dismissed. While I am extremely sensitive to the concerns of those who are identified as victims, and my office has reached out to speak to them, I refuse to knowingly play any role in the school-to-prison pipeline at any age. These very young children are to be protected, nurtured, and disciplined in a manner that does not rely on the criminal justice system to do it. Systems are not designed to raise our children, people are. When we rely on the criminal justice system to raise children, let us not be shocked at the pain in the communities, the mental health crisis, and the inarticulable dysfunction that is so pervasive within the system and elsewhere. We must explore better options as a state. We must raise the expectations of how we respond in difficult situations. This is not a reflection of the children, but more of a reflection of a broken system that is in need of reform. It is time to address juvenile legislation in ways that better protect the interests of children and their development. It is our job as criminal justice professionals to recognize victims in the pursuit of justice. We are not here to create victims because we feel inadequate. I am pleased to note that I have been in contact with Orlando Police Chief Rolone, who has in no uncertain terms said that he does not wish for these children to be prosecuted. He specifically requested that the charges be dropped, and I commend his integrity and his consistency that he has shown. The respect that I have for Chief Rolone is second to none. In closing, I want to repeat that the criminal process ends here today. The children will not be prosecuted, and just as importantly, I am looking into options that may reverse the legal damage, such as removing the arrests from the children's records.
And that's crazy because, like, what I want to say is they just brought her there so then the police office doesn't get sued and the school and all of that. That was just a diversion.
Oh, yeah. Especially to have a black woman to come up there and represent for us and speak for us. Like, they can have nobody else.
Right. But on to this guy right here, though.
Right. Dennis Turner.
This is the officer that arrested her. And black man. So, you know, that was something that they could definitely be like, oh, you know.
Look at this, like, black on black crime. Like, look, he took a little black girl and arrested her for having a tantrum in school. Like, he ain't had a violent history in his past that no one's going to bring up, so I'm going to bring it up.
But you could tell that he obviously has had a violent history, because what happened in 1998?
In 1998, he was arrested for beating his 7-year-old son.
So he was thinking, like, basically when he seen her at 6, his son, he was like, this is probably how my son was acting. So take the aggression out on her.
He'd been arrested and beating kids since 98. In 2003, he was telling the husband of a woman, like, listen to that, the husband of a woman, that I can hurt you and basically you can't do nothing about it. Like, I'm a cop, so I can come and beat your ass and nothing's going to happen to me because basically I'm a cop.
Abusing his authority. That's exactly what that is. Black or white. It don't matter. Black or white. They are all out here abusing their authority, and we're kind of like, at this point, it's not safe in any way, shape, or form, no matter whether you black, white, Mexican.
Right. Outside, in school, anywhere. Like, come on, makes you want to homeschool your kids because, hey, if my kid throws a tantrum, if he's black and he throws a tantrum,
they're going to arrest him.
Basically. And we live in a predominantly white town. So think about that happen over here. And our son would do something like this and get arrested for throwing a tantrum. Like all these other kids aren't out here throwing tantrums.
And it's like, I think wasn't he on the lead?
Yeah, recently, previously suspended for aggressively force of arrest.
So that's what he was just suspended for.
In 2016.
Before this even happened. So it's like, what, 3 years later, you showing your aggression again.
Right. But then think about this. When the little girl's grandma told him that, oh, she has sleep apnea, and he goes, I have sleep apnea too, and you don't see me act like that. Obviously, we do, because you haven't passed of this.
Yeah.
So,
ain't got no sleep
both of y'all are deprived of sleeping if it causes y'all to act up like this because, sir, you're not
innocent. You're definitely not innocent.
Right. You think they think because they have some type of authority that we're supposed to bow down to them, that we're supposed to be scared, that they're almighty God, that we're supposed to praise these people. Like, no, you're a regular person. If you take that uniform off, I'm still going to beat your ass. Right. Like, no difference from you in it and you out of it.
Yep. And it's like, the whole thing is, with him, his aggression is really towards what he has going on in his life. He ain't, it don't got nothing to do with nobody else.
He might have had a bad day and his son was probably acting up and he was mad, so he was like, and the thing they don't tell you, they arrested another little boy. Yeah. They're not going to tell you if he was white or black.
Thank you. But it was 2 kids that got arrested on that
day. At the same day at the same school. He was arresting anybody. You want to have a tantrum too? Get in the car. Like what? And the other little boy went home.
Yeah. And it's like, just went home. But they kept her, detained her, put her fingerprints, took a mug shot. No matter what old girl said, the little black lady that they try to have to come to throw everybody off, no matter what she said, that she is still in a system. So no matter what, they started whatever road that she's going down, they already started her by putting her in the system. And it's crazy because if you read what's in the comments, just look at what they were saying in the comments, though.
One person said, would like to see the video of her acting out. How bad was it? And then she's going to say, 6 and already in jail. Parents should raise them better so the police doesn't have to. Parents should raise them better so that police doesn't have to. What does that have to do with you arresting a 6-year-old? What if they would have arrested your son? And then you call, and then it's like, well, you know, you should have raised them better or the police will. How does that sound? Come on now. Now you're making the little girl sound guilty because she's 6 years old and she's not allowed to express her feelings.
Right. Like she wanted to do that. Obviously, it was something else going on.
Don't nobody just kick nobody else for no reason. Oh, I'm going to get mad and just kick you. Now, listen to this one. The next one coming up.
It's crazy because it's like people just acting like that's a 6-year-old. Listen to this. Listen to how people are acting. That's a large 6-year-old. Very unhealthy in body and spirit. How do you know what her spirit is like? If she hasn't had sleep apnea, which makes her violent, perhaps a public school setting is not the place for her since she's a danger to other students. No 6-year-old child at school or anywhere else should be kicked by someone outweighing them by 30 pounds. Why do you keep bringing up her weight? That's just throwing, jabs.
Like half of America ain't obese and overweight. Like, McDonald's.
Come on. Or more. Let her kick your 6-year-old. She shouldn't be around other children if that's how she acts out. What was the cop supposed to do? Babysit her all day until she decided to stop throwing a violent tantrum? Here's the perfect beginning of a red flag life. Like, bro, you are only... And look, that's your opinion, but for you to put that out there, who's not to say that she's not looking at that and watching that?
Talk about that's a large 6-year-old.
Like, what does her weight have to do with anything about what was going on?
Y'all really making it seem like this little girl just threw a tantrum and started kicking people for no reason. She was provoked to do this. Think about it. If any kid is fighting someone in school, it's for a reason. If, like your mom taught you, that you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And that's probably what she did, is hit somebody back, and then she is the black, overweight, big kid, in the class, like what you're trying to say in your comment.
And it's like, exactly. What provoked her to do that? Nobody is talking about the events that lead it up to her acting like that.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
They don't want you to see that part. They don't want you to see the little white boy probably pulling her hair, doing the crayons, making fun of her and all that. They don't want you to see the real truth.
And that's the thing is,
so let's arrest her and take her to jail. And what do you want her to do? Babysit her until she decides to stop doing? Yes.
Yeah, something.
Because isn't that her principal office for? You didn't even send her to the principal office. The first thing it seems like y'all did was call 911.
Right.
There's a little girl in here kicking people. Oh, let me come get her. Let me send her to jail.
Exactly. And it's like, just like with this one. Like, children have tantrum and hit and kick all the time. Sorry, then you discipline them, suspend them, call the parent. You do not call the police.
And handcuff and traumatize them like they're arresting this school needs to be ashamed. I am a nanny/babysitter, and for almost 31 years was a teacher assistant. If I had had a child arrested every time a tantrum caused a child involved kicking or hitting, I'd be having children arrested almost every day of my career.
And that's a nanny. That's the nanny talking to you. So a nanny's basically with the kids more than with the parents or with the kids.
Right.
You feel me? So it's like, you can't make no excuses for the police officer back to him.
Dennis
not to
Turner.
get off of him. Not Dennis to get off of him.
Turner.
You can't make no excuses for that police officer taking... The only excuse that you can make is be like, oh, okay, well, he was black and she was black, so you can't say it was racist. But that does not defeat the fact that he took a 6-year-old child, a girl...
And traumatized her, basically.
He basically started her life down the road of destruction. He started that. You put her in the system, and you black, of all things, you should know about the system and what it's trying to do to us. Like, right. Look at this.
This is outrage. Sue the cops and school. Lady, take your child out of public school. Right. Because I'm telling you, my son get in school, I'm waiting. Because, I'm telling you. Wow. WTF. I can't wait until these little black kids grow up to be a U.S. judge or president of our country, but not like Obama.
I mean, throwing little slick jabs, but
Right.
still, can't wait till they come out and be the judges and all that to where they can actually make a change, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to make a change. We want to get these kids out of the system. We ain't
Exactly.
trying to put them in it.
Right. So
Period.
what we got to do is, we got to uplift our black kids and, keep them strong, let them know. Don't let anybody test you. If you hit me, I'm hitting you back, and I guess I'm going to get arrested.
Period. So, like I said, man, y'all comment down below. These are just opinions, period, point blank. We just having a discussion. It's an open discussion. So y'all put your comments in the comment box.
On how y'all feel about this topic. And, we'll see you next time on the episode of
We Gotta Talk About This.
We out.